Okay guys, so what if I told you you could build in everything that you wanted into your lesson so that kids had everything they needed to succeed, whether they were with you, missed class, or were fully remote? Well, we're going to be doing that today in Pear Deck StudentPaced Mode. Let's go. So as we're structuring a Google Slides presentation with Pear Deck up here, I'm going to go ahead and click that. I want to walk you through what I do really quickly because I think it could be helpful for you. First off, I always use an image that I have students do a notice and wonder about. So I'm a science teacher. The Next Gen Science Standards help me to get at this concept of observing and wondering. So I have the kids do a notice and a wonder. Now, what I do is I also give the kids a quote of the week to think about. And these are my Monday motivational quotes you may have seen on my channel. But what I have students do when I engage this is I engage it in student-paced mode and I give them a time limit. So they can look at the image, they can go and do the notice, they can go back, they can do the wonder, and then they get to this slide which has my agenda and a stop sign on it. And then basically, as I'm looking at my dashboard, which I'll show you in a minute, I can tell where they are and how many students are on each slide. And when they get here, they just swivel their Chromebook around towards me so I know they're ready to go. But that's when I pull back the student paced mode. But as long as you use the student paced mode, the students will get something called takeaways. When they're all done, it'll email them a document, a copy of this presentation, which is really what makes it awesome. So anything I'm going to use in this presentation, I'm going to build right in. So what I do is I have a basic, like quick shortcut kind of slide. We're talking about circulatory and respiratory, or the whole cardiovascular system at once. And so I give them the basics of what should maybe trigger their memory of what went on in class today. So there's 2 loops of the heart. You get the basic idea, the vessels, the chambers, the parts of blood. And then this is my code for like atrium, ventricle, artery, vein, and the pathway of those 2 loops. And the functions of the respiratory system to move air, tree air, whatever. And these are the parts. So then they can actually use that with this diagram, which is more complex than they need, and a diagram of the alveoli. But that's not important. What's really important here is I use this video in class. They have a copy of it. They would have seen it. I used it in Edpuzzle, but they want to watch it again. It's in here. I did the heart dissection. There's a video of the heart dissection in here. If they want to go back and look at it, they can. Pear Deck creates a shareable version of that document for them. So then I go down, and if there's any kids that missed the lesson or want to go back, because I've done these lessons on YouTube and you're free to use them, or you can find your own, I just link that video in the presentation to the circulatory system and also to the respiratory system. And so anytime kids want, because they have this when they're all done in the takeaways folder, they can go back and look at it whenever they want. So I'm going to go to the takeaways folder right now. In your Google Drive or Microsoft Teams, it might look a little different. I have this My Drive Pear Deck takeaways. So in the takeaways, this is the week that I'm doing this week. So I click on that, and then it has it broken down by how I've named that presentation. And let me show you how that works. So if I start the lesson and I do this lesson, I'm actually going to start it in instructor paced mode. And it has the kids, go ahead and sign in. I'm on slide 12. I don't want to be, but it's going to launch up my teacher dashboard. Great. The kids log in, close that code. And now I'm going to go say all the way back. I'll go to my first slide, and you notice it changed it on my screen, on their screens. And this is where I would turn on student paced mode. So I turn on student paced mode, and right now I don't have any students in there. But if I did, it would show me in a little box in the corner how many students were there, what slide they were on. As they moved through, I could actually see what slide they were on. And if I had 15 students, it would show me the number 15 when they were all ready to move on. Or I would just go down here and hit stop, and then when I hit stop, it brings them all back to the slide that I have presented. So now that I have that done, let's say I'm done with class and I go down here to end, it's going to ask me to name my session. Well, whatever name I put in here in this particular session is exactly what's going to appear right here as the folder title. So for me, Week 13, we have 2 cohorts of students because we have half the students coming Monday, Tuesday, the other half coming Thursday, Friday. We're in a block schedule for this weird hybrid model right now. So if there was cohort A, block 1, that's what I named this one, and then this was cohort B, block 1. So this was today. And then I have a different class Monday and Tuesday, but the same block schedule. So I just put a 0.1. But anyway, the kids inside of each one of these, we're going to get a copy. So if I click on it, so every kid has a copy of this week 13-20 document. And inside of it, if I go ahead and click inside of it, I have this student's answers. And all the way down through, they have the presentation slides. So whatever name I put here is what's going to be in there. If I launch this, let's say your students are 100% remote. You create this presentation. This presentation could have links like a hyperdoc to other documents, to other assignments, whatever it might be. If I start this as a straight up StudentPaced mode and I send the link to this to students, so what I was thinking is if you blend together notes that you provide to kids and plus give them some opportunity to actually put some input in there, they're going to have that melded together in one document. And you can actually use that document as an assignment, but they have a copy of it, and then they can also turn it in so that you have a copy of it in your LMS of choice. And it just keeps kids a little bit more accountable, gives them as much time as they need to get that assignment done, and it also gives them the resources they need to complete the things that you're giving them for the week. When the due date is done, so let's say this goes, I'm going to let this go for 1 week and then I'm going to close it down. When I close it down, that's when I have to title it. That's when they'll get all their information. So if you then have them use their information in a Google assignment, a Canvas assignment, they can upload their evidence of completion of that assignment after you close it out in Pear Deck, and then everything is clean and turned in. You don't have to go looking for it. They just turn it in their assignment. Hey guys, I hope that was helpful. Just remember to check out all of our 60-second EdTech tips, also our Monday motivational quotes, and all the other cool stuff we got going on at kicksomeclass.com and here on our Ball Guy Side channel. So we'd love it if you subscribe, and we'll check you in the next video.